Hey guys, Jessica here. So, on today's pump chat, we're going to be talking about the Unimom Opera. This is a pump that I absolutely love, but we are going to have a very detailed discussion on this. And I think what you're going to notice on my channel is that when I talk about a pump, I'm talking about the pump's features, its value, and I'm comparing it to its listed price point. So, this pump is an expensive pump. Its retail price is listed as $599.99. I'm going to hold Unimom and their Unimom Opera to a far higher standard than what I'm going to hold a company that's selling a $150 or even a $200 breast pump. Because this is marketed at $600, that would put it in your luxury breast pump category, which means it needs to hold standards consistent with its price point. And there's just a couple things that I want you to know about that price point. So let's jump into what is the Unimom Opera and why is it that everybody raves about this pump. This is a really popular breast pump because look how small it is. This is a heavy duty breast pump. This is going to be one of our heavy hitters. So you can see in the background back here, we've got the Spectra S2, we've got the Spectra Synergy Gold. Those are heavy duty breast pumps. This holds its own against those pumps at a fraction of the size and weight. So that is incredible. This is a dual motor pump, so you do have an independent motor for left and right. You can control the pump. They have a couple different modes. So you can use it single left, single right. You can use it on what they call the synchronous mode, or you can use this one on an asynchronous mode, which means each side pulls in an alternate fashion. So it's left, right, left, right, left, right. This can be incredibly powerful for moms who are struggling to get a letdown. And for this pump to be able to do all of those, you can control the suction on each side independently. It is a little bit harder than it is with, say, like the Spectra Synergy Gold to control the suction independently just because of the way the pump programming is. If you want to alter just the left side suction, then you need to go to single left to turn it up or down. And then when you go back to your synchronous mode or your alternate mode, it will be already set to that. So it's a little bit clunky with that programming. I don't love that feature as much. I feel like at $600, it should be a little bit easier and a little bit more intuitive. But overall, that is an extremely small complaint. And I would say most of my moms are not having any issues with that. So you do have a standard stimulation mode and you have expression mode. This pump goes fast in stimulation mode. You've got cycle speeds ranging from 100 to 60. Their settings are actually listed online. So I'm going to link down below this video the manual where you can actually pull up a chart and see how your pump is supposed to be functioning. And because it's dual motor, each side is getting that controlled level of suction, which I absolutely love. It's very transparent. What I don't like about this pump, however, is that for $600, I feel like the parts feel cheap. So you do need these little tubing adapters to be able to stick in here, which means they stick out. That adds a layer of things that want to catch on something. I think this is something that should be re-engineered at this price point. And then the parts themselves, like it does come with a two-piece setup now. The parts are just, I mean, you can see it's kind of squishy. This is what I would expect with a $50 pump on Amazon. I don't think these parts are very high quality. I do not recommend my clients continue to use these parts. I transfer my clients over to a Spectra style setup because it's going to match the backflow protector, but you're going to get a more universal backflow membrane. You're going to get a better duct bill. You're going to get more reliable, high quality parts. I also recommend they move over to Spectra because while this looks like it fits, look how easily this comes apart. I don't know anybody who can pump and have their pump parts not be secure and not run into issues. So that I don't particularly love. When this drops down into expression mode, we actually do have an issue where the cycle speeds drop. It goes from 60 is your lowest in stimulation to 42 being your highest in expression. They're missing a huge chunk of like the spectrum of cycle speeds, which is kind of strange for a pump that of this caliber. I would expect that to have a little bit better programming. I would have expected to have some numbers in the 50s and to possibly, be able to move smoothly between those. I also would have expected the possibility of having a little bit higher suction in stimulation, but that's just me. I do wish we had that at that price point. Now, this is a multi-user pump. Where that makes this really cool is this is a small portable motor, but it's heavy duty and several moms can use it without risking contamination. So this is approved. We have a lot of LCs that actually rent these out because stuff like the Spectra S1 and S2, they're really popular, but they're only single user. So technically, somebody who is following FDA guidelines would not rent that out to multiple moms because we can't assure that it's an appropriate device for that. Do we think it's a low risk option? Absolutely. Is it ethical to violate FDA violate or protocol? No, probably not. It's probably not a good idea. So this one is really exciting in that we can do that. So I love that about this. Mom has talked before about trying to put this in the hospital. I kind of have thoughts on that where I don't think that this necessarily competes with an Amida Platinum or a Medela Symphony. It's up there with them, but it is still not as refined as it should be for something that's trying to compete at that. I also think we need to talk about that price point. So they're labeling it at $599.99, but they're also giving influencers 50% off coupons, which is great. If I bring this down to a $300 pump, that is absolutely wonderful. At $300, some of my complaints go away. I'm not quite as upset about the parts. The programming for a $300 pump, that's fantastic. At $600 though, that's a concern. So my thing is, if you can offer an influencer a 50% off coupon, this is not a $600 pump. And I really disagree with that type of deceptive marketing with medical devices. So that is exactly what a breast pump is. It is a medical device. So I expect there to be some level of transparency. Where this creates issues is that moms look at this and say that's a $600 pump. So this DME that's selling it for a $200 upgrade, that's actually a really good price. I'm getting a $600 pump for $200. Well, no, actually you're getting a $300 pump because that's what they've established as being the value of the pump. They're willing to sell it for $300. That is now the value. So now you're paying $200 for a $300 pump where you could have paid $50 for another $300 pump because that $599.99 allows the DME to bill a higher balance essentially to you, that higher upgrade fee than what they can with a pump that has a retail value that's lower. So I disagree with that practice and I stand by my opinion on that. I do like the pump. I recommend the pump frequently to moms because it does a really good job for moms who want a low, it has some vibration to it. Some people would argue it doesn't, but there is a slight vibration to it. It is not what I would recommend for my moms who need zero vibration. It is a very smooth, gentle suction despite the fact that it is strong. We do see a lot of moms who empty really fast with this pump. We see a lot of moms who get more with this pump than they do with other pumps. And I do feel like it is a little bit better pump than, say, a Spectra 1, S1, or S2. I definitely would put this up there with like the Spectra Synergy Gold in terms of quality. But there is just those issues. We also have had some weird issues with our customer service. So for those who didn't know, Zomi and Unimom are owned by the same people. Like it's the same person who owns those two companies. And there's definitely been some crossover. There used to not be. It used to be if you called Unimom customer service, you got Unimom customer service. And if you contacted Zomi, you got Zomi. Now it's all intermixed. But my issue with that is not that Zomi has bad customer service, because I think they actually have decent customer service, but they have customer service that's equivalent to their $150 to $250 pumps. When I call about a $600 pump and I can't get a straight answer and my clients can't get a straight answer and there's some mixed information about the warranty and what's going to be covered and how they're going to get the service for that, this is a $600 pump that claims to offer loaner pumps for warranty replacements and to be repairable. But we have had a whole batch of pumps that moms have had issues with the screens going out, the motors seizing, the batteries having issues. Now we're seeing a couple that are overheating. Is this a sign that the pump is a failure? No, actually, mechanical issues happen with all pumps. I can't think of a single pump out there that I'm not aware of a major mechanical failure that at least one batch of them has had. It's pretty universal. We'll have issues with some of them mechanically. But my issue is that people invested in this pump and now they're not necessarily getting the customer service that matches what they invested in. And that is kind of frustrating me. It's frustrating a handful of my clients. And that is definitely a concern. There's also, the affiliate marketing with this company has upset quite a few people because they give out different coupons to different people, which does make it feel a little predatory. So if you could go and you can get a 10% off code, great. It's pretty transparent. You can go on their website and you can see who's making what. And that does factor in. If I'm making $60 off of a pump versus $20 off of another pump for affiliate marketing, that can change things, and that influences what moms trust what they're saying. Now, I don't have a code with them for Unimom. I don't. And the reason for that is that I have an issue with their affiliate marketing program for this pump, because that 50% off coupon to me devalued this pump by far more than 50%, because now it feels like there's a little bit of deceptive marketing going on, and I don't love that. But that is something that moms have had concerns about. But again, we come back to sometimes we have an issue with the company and their actions, but at the end of the day, we're still in love with the pump. And I would say we're still in love with this pump. I wish that they would kind of bring the quality back up. I wish the customer service would go back up to what it used to be. I don't think at this price point that they should be allowing things to slip. But it's a dual motor pump. It's very easy to carry. It fits really well in the Mimi and Powell large Harper bag. Um, that was really like the missing thing for me with this pump, is the ability to just walk around with it secured and go on about my day. That was where other smaller portable motors were kind of still winning over this. But with this, I have moms in a vulnerable pumping situation that can now pump with this pump, not sacrifice any efficiency whatsoever. This is one of the best of the best, and still be able to, get that freedom that comes with more portable pumping. It is, you can pair this with a lot of accessories. I move people to the Spectra stuff. Unimom does have cups. They're the same as the Zomi cups. They work really well with the pump. It is pairable with the Medela cups, but we do see a little bit of increased suction. And I am concerned about the Medela cups and increasing suction and some of the motor burnout that we've seen with this. So you can pair it with that. It's probably not a foolproof combo, and you will want to check the warranty on that to make sure it's not going to void anything. But we know that it's pairable with Spectra cups. We know that it's pairable with Zomi and Unimom cups, and we're not having any issues. You can pair it with your LV Stride cups. Other than the adapter at the end, it's compatible with fairly universal tubing. It connects to most different parts. It performs well with most different parts. This pump is actually one of the ones that I get the least, wild results in terms of suction when I hook it up to different hacks. So, we'll do another video on another day that talks about all the cups and how they perform with this, so I can get you more like detailed data. But for the most part, it plays nicely with others. It's portable, it's efficient. This is definitely one that I think you should consider when you're talking about, that heavy duty big hitter that you want to have in your pump repertoire to support your goals. So this is definitely one to consider, but do consider those negatives that I talked about. That may be something that is a make it or break it for you. But that is my spiel on the Unimom Opera. If you like these pump chats, definitely comment down below. Let me know what other pumps you want to know about. Clearly, we have no shortage of them here in the office. And let me know if you have any questions.